Hi everyone, welcome back to Stow Active, or as we are now calling it, Return to Sport. After the announcement yesterday from the Prime Minister and from the Headmaster, we are so excited to have you guys coming back, and I hope that everyone's feeling really positive about the news and the fact that we can get some sort of activities going and back to some sort of normality within our school day. So really great news, and now we can focus on preparing ourselves to return to sport without maybe picking up injuries or potentially being a little bit less kind of physically active over the last 10 weeks or whatever it is, with regard to running, our cardiovascular system, but also our kind of muscular systems, our neural pathways, and other things that make up our kind of physical health. So the activities, the sessions that we're going to do are going to be very different this time, because we're focusing on not just getting a workout, we're focusing on preparing ourselves to return to the rigors of the normal kind of active school day, as well as daily sports and physical activity as well. So our return to sport sessions are going to look like this. On Monday, we're going to do a upper body session with some core exercises. On a Tuesday, we're looking to get outside, do some running. On Wednesdays, we're going to do a lower body session. So these will be on YouTube for you to watch and join along with me. And on Thursday, we're going to do something called Fartlek, which is a Swedish word which means speed play. And it's basically all outlined in the email that's been sent out to you. But essentially, it's just like playing around with different speeds, different distances. But again, just getting some distance in our legs, getting some running, and playing with some different speeds, so that when we go back to hockey or netball or whatever it is that we're playing next term, that we are ready and prepared and we're not going to injure ourselves. And then on Friday, we're going to just do like a real quick kind of HIIT session, similar to a lot of the sessions that we did back in the first half of term. And then on Saturday, we're going to look for you to go out and do a bit of a longer, more steady state activity session, whether that's running, cycling, or another form of cardiovascular exercise. But we're looking at kind of 30 to 40 minutes. So we're looking to heighten and get back to doing kind of long activity sessions. So today we're going to run through a real nice upper body session. So we're going to stretch up, up onto our tiptoes, really open up through the spine, and then we're going to flop down and just touch your toes. Really just stretch through our spine in that position. You're going to stretch up and over. So if you're like me and you had a nice relaxing half term, not doing a lot, not leaving the house, then you might be a little bit stiff this morning. So we're just going to wake up our back, wake up our upper body, and the sessions are going to follow a really simple format where we're going to do 5 exercises. We're going to do 5 sets of 10 of each exercise, just in a line, just rolling through. So real simple exercises, all the exercises we did back in the first half of term. Just roll your shoulders while we get through this. And then we're going to do 3 core exercises at the end, and we're going to do 3 sets of 10 for those core exercises. So hopefully real simple, real easy, but we're not focusing on full tilt. We're not focusing on like just getting a sweat on. This is about kind of preparing those muscles so that when we do eventually come back, and if you're playing rugby, if you're playing any contact sports, or if you're playing high impact sports like netball or hockey, then we're prepared, we're ready, and we're less likely to pick up injuries, and we're less likely to spend more time away from sport, which is obviously not what we want. We want to get back to being active, being fit, and hopefully, you know, improving our way through to the 21st of June. Summer holidays, here we come. So our first exercise is a walkout. So standing feet shoulder width apart, bring my hands down to the floor, walk my hands out into a press up position, walk it back. So we're going to do 10 reps of that. So you can just do it along with me. And walk back. So we're going to do 10 repetitions of this, just nice and steady. As I said, this is preparing our shoulders for any kind of movement that we end up having to stand up, push ourselves up off the floor. Again, anything like rugby or, you know, netball, hockey, you might fall over. And just trying to prepare our shoulders. It's really good for just sort of stabilizing through anyway. Really great exercise. Good for our abdominals as well. And also it works through our hips, really good movement through our hips, hamstrings, glutes as well. Totally lost count. So we're going to do 2 more. We're going to stay down after the last one, and we're going to go into our press ups. So fingers facing forward, thumbs in, core engaged, back flat, chest comes down to the floor. Ten. Perfect. So if we're in our living room, we've got a chair or sofa or something, just bring your feet out, hands flat, and we're just doing some dips. So just working, moving through our shoulder joints, working our elbows. Like I said, just 10, real easy, just to get those shoulders working. Get those triceps working. I've got a single dumbbell, but you can use, like I said, a backpack filled with books, or if you've got a dumbbell at home or something that weighs, I don't know, 2 or 3 kilos. I'm going to do a single arm row. So I'm going to take one leg out in front of me and just row. Elbow stays tucked in. Dumbbell comes into my shoulder socket. I'm going to do 10 on the right. And then 10 on the left. Nice and dynamic. We're not going too quick, but we're not dilly-dallying either. Good, we're into our shoulder press. So, single arm. Just pushing up. Bring our elbow down so my arm's parallel to the floor. 90-degree bend at the elbow. Doing single-sided means that we're engaging through our abdominals as well, forcing our center of gravity to change, meaning that we've got to keep ourselves upright. 10, perfect. So, 1 round done. Straight back into our walkouts. So walk out and back. So nice and steady, make sure we're going through the motion. We're just trying to make sure that we're building up really good resilience through all of our major joints, working all the muscles, getting them ready and raring to return to sport, return to school, return to normal life. Cool, 1 more. And then we're going to go into our 10 press-ups. Straight into our dips. So fingers face forward, thumbs facing in, just grip hold of the sofa or the chair, whatever it is you're using. Good. And then grab whatever weight you've got into our single arm rows. boom. So we're really working through all ranges of motion through our upper body, working all our major muscles, all the big ones, and all kinds of movement. So we've got a press, we've got a vertical pull and push, and we've got a horizontal pull in our row, and then we go straight into our vertical push. And we're also stabilizing the whole way throughout all of the exercises. Good. So we're just getting through the movements, nice and steady, into our walkouts, stabilizing through our abdominals, working through our shoulders. Shoulders should feel a little bit like they're aching. However, that's just that joint trying to stabilize around it. We're moving all of the fluid that lives in that capsule around the ball and socket joint. It's flooding it with nutrients. It's moving it around. It's keeping it nice and healthy, as well as working all those tendons and ligaments that are keeping our shoulder together. One more. Straight into our press-ups. Remember, we can drop down to our knees if we have to. Woo. Didn't think this was going to be as intense as it's turned out to be, I guess. Into our dips. And then into our rows. Grab whatever you need. Grab a drink if you've got it. And just get moving through those movements. This is really good for a kind of warm-up as well. Just doing a few rounds of these exercises, because they're going to mobilize joints, activate muscles, and prepare us really well for general physical movement. So if you're warming up to do any kind of sport, any kind of physical activity, just doing a couple of rounds of all of these movements, really useful. Woo! Switch sides. So, hopefully, you're looking to do as many of these sessions as you can. If you're not really feeling any more screen time, then please substitute some of these sessions for your own personal sessions that you might want to do at home or out in the garden. Now that the snow has subsided and spring is kind of sprung, here at school we've got the snowdrops are out, crocuses are starting to come out inside of Bruce, just outside of Bruce on that little roundabout bit, which is really nice. And daffodils are coming up and everything. So hopefully, by the time you guys get back, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be ready for summer. Right, let's go. straight into our dips. Last round, and then we will focus on some core exercises. Whew. Last round of this. Grab your dumbbell. Even if you don't have a dumbbell, it's fine to just go through the movements. We're not trying to overload and work ourselves too hard. Purely just looking to reintroduce movement to our body, reintroduce some stresses and strains of normal everyday life that you may not have had throughout the last 6-8 weeks or since we broke up for the Christmas holidays. Nice. Right, so we're going to move into our 3 rounds of core exercises. So we're going to do an up-down plank, which is basically from my elbows up onto my hands. We do 10 reps of that. Mountain climbers, 10 reps of that. And then toe touches, where essentially drive your hips up to the sky, go into more of a downward facing dog position, and then touch your toes. So, up, down plank. I'll kind of go a little bit of an angle for you. Drop down to my elbows, push up to my hands. Just like that. Have a little 10-second rest. I don't have a timer today. So just make up sort of 10 seconds, and then we'll go into our mountain climbers. So mountain climbers, set up in a press up position, knees drive up to your elbows, just like this. And you can move as fast or as slow as you need. We'll have a little 10-second rest, and then we're going to go into toe touches. So press up position. I'm going to push my hips up to the sky, so it's got a downward facing dog position, yoga pose that hopefully, having done all the yoga videos from last half term, you all know incredibly well. In here, and then I'm just going to reach back, touch my toes. Great core stability exercise. Really good for shoulder stability as well. So everything we're looking for in terms of preparing our upper body for getting back to school. Nice. So that's 1 round of that. We're going to do 2 more. So little shake. Before we get into it, just 10-15 seconds rest, and then we are good to go. So, up, down plank. Press up position, onto your elbows, and then up. Just going to change the arm I go up on. Nice. 5 seconds straight into our mountain climbers. Boom. 2, 3. $20 of those. or 10 on each side, and then just 10 toe touches. Say that when you're breathing. 5 each side. So pike, boom. Cool. We are going to do one more round of that, and then we are done, done, done. We are then prepped. That's our upper body preparation. And then Wednesday, we're going to do a lower body preparation, and on Friday, do a little bit of a HIIT session. And hopefully, if you look back at the email Mr. Sutton sent out, we'll highlight some examples of interval sessions, fartlek sessions, and a longer, more steady state exercise session. And then we've sort of hit the full package. We've hit everything that we need to do in order to prepare ourselves to return. So, up, down, plank, let's go. Little breather, 10 seconds, catch our breath, straight into our mountain climbers. Last one, toe touches, 5 each side. Leaving ourselves well worked, but ultimately better prepared for the endeavours of the 3 weeks that we are going to be back at school. And we are done. Shrugging your shoulders, big circles with your arms. Just rotate. Again, we've spent a long time sitting down, relaxing, resting, having a relaxed half term, then we may just be feeling a little bit stiff. That's just our body's way of saying, welcome back. Stretch down, touching the toes. Shake everything. Welcome back. Return to sport will continue for the next, 12 days until we physically return to school, and look forward to seeing you in person, but more importantly, on the YouTube channel over the next 6 workouts. See you soon.